What's going on, boo boo? You looking at yourself? And them big jaws. Big cheeks. And them big cheeks. Daddy big cheeks. Peace and greetings, Macadine family. At the Macadine headquarters right now, and just reflecting on some powerful things that I've been hearing in the news, and after watching this hilarious debate last night with those two clowns, one that looked like he was released from a mental institution, and the other one looking like he was released from an old folks home. It was really hilarious. But what I wanted to go into this morning, now the dog want to bark. Sitting here about to drink some tea, some green tea, and got the diffuser going on with the clary sage, rosemary, lavender. Just feeling in the zone right now. What I want to talk about briefly is from the Macadine book, and in relationship to something that's headlining and trending in the news. And it's from the chapter 35 of Macadine, entitled The Uncertainty Principle. And in this in particular chapter, I go into the scientific aspect of the uncertainty principle, as well as the social aspect or social expression of the uncertainty principle, aka the Heisenberg principle, after Werner Heisenberg. But anyway, I talk about, like the electron, which the uncertainty principle is focused on. You know, we're made up of electrons and protons and neutrons. So from a scientific perspective, a electron could never be actually pinpointed down or predicted like you could other elements or other subatomic materials. And the principle is mind-boggling to the scientists. But when you cross over into the social strata, the same principle applies. You know, the human being, he can be put in any kind of situation. He can be put, like the one movie, The Count of Monte Cristo, or Monte Cristo, one or the other, Monte Cristo. You know, you can be put into prison. You can be put on an island and isolated. Man could be put in any subjective position and miraculously just turn it all the way around in the blink of an eye. When those on the outside observing this man in this subjective and oppressed or impoverished position, looking at him, you would predict from the naked eye that this individual would never rise again. But miraculously they do. And that's a principle that's embedded in the nature of man. Man could come from any low subjective position and rise out of the blue. In the book, I talk about how Frederick Douglass was an example of the uncertainty principle, and a brother that was incarcerated at the time when I was incarcerated about 5 years ago by the name of Jeremy Meeks, whose picture happened to be circulated by one of the COs, one of the female correction officers who did his ID paperwork. And from that ID being put on the web, this man blew up and turned into a supermodel. Now, you know, traveling the world on yachts with the most beautiful women, millions of dollars. But he was a petty dope dealer, thief, and what have you. And the brother is now an international star. Now, there's a recent event dealing with the uncertainty principle that I want to bring up. And it's dealing with former WNBA star, what's her name? Maya Moore. Now, Maya Moore, now she took a couple years off and she's still a eligible basketball player, eligible basketball star. I'm not into WNBA, so I don't know what team she's on, but she's a big star, making big money with actually the option to go back into the league. But this sister met her brother behind bars through her prison ministry. And she helped get the brother released out of prison after 23 years, about maybe 4 months ago. And it's recently been revealed by them on Good Morning America that they are now married. They are now in matrimonial bliss. And once again, I'm sure that brother had no idea that his life was going to turn out this way, but he stumbled upon the power of the uncertainty principle. And like all the other different laws and principles that they talk about, these principles at times, like the law of attraction, like the law of polarity, like the law of expectation, these things happen without thinking at times, which can't be explained. Like someone who wins the lottery, who knows nothing about the law of attraction, knows nothing about how to get a wealth consciousness, but this individual has now hit the lottery for $100 million. Teach. Go ahead, finish. You got something to say? Anyway, the uncertainty principle, once you are consciously aware of it, once you get in contact with the different principles that we talk about in the book, you know, strong force, the particles, the subatomic world, once you get familiarized with electromagnetism and the laws of the universe, the multiverse, and your innerverse, and then get contacted and affiliated with your inner G, your inner Gog, then you'll start seeing what we're talking about. The things that's in this book are not just haphazardly put in here. They're in here for a reason and a purpose. And that is to regenerate you and bring you back into your royal kingly state. Simple as that. Simple as that. Once you get familiar with your inner power, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Almost instantly. But you first got to get the book. Study it, study yourself, apply it, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. More later. Peace.